Snooter says. 1. Stinkyman 2014 said, hello there. Stream Elements said, hey, did you know that you can get way more draw time by subscribing on KO-Fi? Basic Boopers, $5 gets you 30 minutes of draw time per week. Double Doodles, $10 gets you 70 minutes of draw time per week. Super Snooters, $25 gets you 200 minutes of draw time per week. Feraligator 2425 said, hello Stinky. Heya. You should heckin' check out Cyberdragon 34, where they do Alice, Madness Returns it. Stinkyman 2014 just redeemed request slot for 3000 points. Stinkyman 2014 currently has 10 minutes.
Hello everyone, welcome back. It is good to be home and seeing everyone again. I'm glad you're all here and I hope you had a good time while I was gone. I am going to post something explaining what we're going to be doing today. Not much different, I just need to do a couple things to make it shorter since we got off to a late start. Hold on.
Feraligator 2425 said, oh. Dazzle4U said, hello. Snooter said, welcome to the stream. We do art requests here every Friday. So if you're looking to get work started on your very own free art request, be sure to read the rules, and then comment your request into the chat. I was more worried if you bruised yourself during the fall. D7061 said, can I ask if my request is almost done so I can move on to a new one? Thank you for the follow Dazzle4U.
Thank you so much for the follow.
Said, I'll just
As you can
save
see,
up
we
points
do
to
art
request a
requests,
slot.
and if you would like to place one, please let me know. Be sure to take a look at the rules before you place one, but yeah, you just put a description into the chat. If you would like to if you would like to give me some references, you can join our Discord, and I'll send you a link to that in a bit.
Dazzle4U said, can you draw Sir 7, WSAWTV mascot? Cyberdragon 34 said, I think I had said something a few days ago or a month ago. Now I overdraft like a dummy that I am and won't be able to solve or do anything for 5 to 7 months. So I wanted to sub this week. Super Johnny 91 said, "Hi there." Coco4 Coco Pix said, "Hello. Welcome to the Snooter request stream. To get a request, just go into the channel points section and redeem a slot on the stream. If you are new to the stream, you will automatically get 10 minutes if you have a request in mind. You can also use channel points to redeem extra time for your request. Anyway, make sure to read the rules before submitting a new
I'm going
request,
to try to
and join the Discord if you have anything specific in mind.
Welcome in, Video Game Andrew. Good to see you. You are a subscriber now, so we already have you on the list, and we're looking forward to starting the new one. As many of you already know, we finished... Oopsie. We finished Video Games Andrew's most recent request. Where'd it go? Here it is. And therefore, we're going to be starting a new one today. But this is how the old request turned out. As usual, it is a transformation request of him transforming into various characters. In this case, it is Toriel from Undertale. Hello, Cyberdragon. I did the shout out. Good, good. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you had fun playing... What was it again? Alice to Madness. Oh my, we actually had an Alice to Madness request like, I want to say a year or so ago. That's too old though. I don't actually have it in my saves anymore. I deleted that save because it was so old. But yeah, I should totally show you the Alice to Madness requests I had like a couple years ago. That'd be awesome. Looks like today's early bird winner is Feraligator. Congratulations, Feraligator. Good to see everyone here to save up points and have a good time, I hope. And Gold Recluse, sorry for being behind on yours. I managed to pick out a pose I'm going to do, and I haven't charged you any of your time for it, so you still have 50 minutes. Wow, you can't see that very well. Yeah, it is there, you know, I draw dark and then sketch it up. But anyway, the pose is there. It's going to be a real easy pose. I think it's still going to look pretty good. And we're going to do that. And I'm going to focus on the foreground today and maybe add a background later. But yes, you still have 50 minutes. That's 50 that I owe you. And I'm probably going to get you, and I'm probably going to get caught up tomorrow on that. So sorry for the inconvenience. And today you have 20 minutes and I'm just going to focus on the foreground. Stinky Man is here. Excellent. I believe I have you first on the list. I'm not sure why, because this list is pretty much random. Maybe I should figure out how I should organize my subscribers someday, but for now, we're just going to keep it random. The order I happen to write them in. Stinky Man bought a slot. You already had one because you're a subscriber, so I'm just going to give you the 10 extra minutes and add it to your current request slot. That sounds good. No, I wasn't bruised or anything when I fell.
Because of the technical difficulties last stream, and the subsequent vacation, I am pretty far behind, and because of that, I spent most of today trying to catch up. Because I got off to such a late start, today's stream is going to have to be much shorter than normal. Therefore I've reduced the amount of request slots that can be redeemed today. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Yes, yours is almost done. I just need to do some highlighting and a little bit of shading. But remember, the way it works now is you need to get you need to redeem some request slots. As for the new person, we can add you to the list without any of that. Okay, it looks like you already have your request in as well. So I'm gonna add you to the list. So first timer. So first timers get their first 10 minutes free. Dazzle for you. Let's spell that correctly so I can look you up later. And 10.
How's everything going with you?
Oh man, I'm just so glad to be back. Like, my partner's suffering from heat exhaustion and like had several other medical problems while we were out there. And like it was just so stressful. There was constant stuff going on all the time, and it's just, I'm so glad to be back and just able to do nothing. At least that's what I would say if I didn't immediately have to go to work for 2 days straight as soon as I got back. So, you know, I had to do my other job of caretaking for like 2 days, and it was, instead of working on my, you know. Thank you for the boop. I hope the audio is working and everyone can hear it okay. Because I might have missed it. But yeah, I'm just glad to be back, and I'm working on my art today, and like, I really needed this. Like, this is what I do to decompress. Not always. If I'm really bad, I'll actually play a video game, but like, this is what I do every day. And it helps me a lot. I think it's had a few days more.
Video game Andrew said, my name on the list.
Oh, that's cool. Cyberdragon, I'm sorry that overdrafting happened. And I hope that has been sorted out now. If you would like to sub sometime soon, I would greatly appreciate it. If not, remember, real life comes first. Do not be spending money on me if you do not have money for yourself. You have to take care of yourself. That's what's important. Hello, Super Johnny.
The Gold Recluse said, I just tried to draw a tree. That tree laughed at me. That tree is going to get its.
Yes, Andrew, as you can see, you are in the subscriber section. Your spot is guaranteed. Thank you for your subscription, and thank you to all the subscribers who helped to make this stream possible. Trees can be tough, I'll tell you that much. Like, my trouble is, like, I was trying to draw trees like how the forests look where I grew up. And where I grew up, they're all like dry oak trees. So I'm drawing like all these trunks and complicated branches and all of these, and I'm like, how the heck do you simplify this? This is such... Every single tree is like a character, and there's like literally 100 of them in sight. So like, how do you simplify this? And then like, I look up all these tutorials and they're like, oh yeah, so you have a green smudge here and a brown smudge here, and make sure to shade your green smudges. And I'm like, okay, that might work for bushes, but no, I need trees, actual trees. And then I went to the vacation to a different state where the forests are actually green and get enough water and aren't dying all the time. And I'm like, oh, that's actually what forests look like. They're actually kind of fluffy and green and just look like bushes, but bigger, and with the trunk coming out of the bottom. And I'm just like, wow, no wonder all the tutorials I looked up for how to draw a forest didn't make any sense to me, because everyone else's forests look completely different. Looks like we have Pepper Skunk, who did a basic slot. Let me go ahead and add you to the list.
Pepperskunk39 just redeemed request slot for 3,000 points. Pepperskunk39 currently has 10 minutes. Feral Ligator 2425
the mic
said,
definitely
"At the
should
Gold
be loud.
Recluse
I
turned
think
it
I
into
keep
fireplace
turning away.
with
I'm gonna
birds'
turn it up
cries."
a bit. Quite a bit. Okay, that peaked a bit. Let's not have it that loud. Come on. That's probably good. I hope that's right and not too quiet. I also have the music turned down, so my voice should be about twice as loud as the ambient music is what I'm aiming for. And hopefully we're not peaking too much. I'm seeing a couple times that it's peaking. Sorry, I have to turn it down again a bit because I'm peaking a bit. My audio's peaking a bit.
Cyberdragon34 said, I have one more area left and then I'm gonna be able to unlock the previous game within the game. The Gold Recluse said, huzzah. Dino Lover 42 said, hi, I'm here.
Welcome in, Dino Lover 42. So much chat to catch up with. We have a lot going on in these conversations, so I'm gonna try to stay quiet for a bit and let the chat catch up.
Oh, I only have 897 points. Dash. Feraligator 2425 said, is it me, but mic ain't very loud. I don't wanna max out my volume. G7061 said, good to see.
Definitely let me know if, the rest of y'all definitely let me know if the mic is too quiet for y'all. It could be because I'm looking at my other monitor instead of looking at the monitor in front of me because I'm trying to catch up with chat. Which, you know, always happens at the beginning.
Coco Pix said, I wonder what would happen if I randomly decided to press this cool epic knock button.
I am not sure. I will have to look into that, and maybe we'll have to make a plan sometime.
Retro Addy said, hey. Snooter said, welcome to the stream. We do art requests here every Friday.
Welcome in, Retro Addy.
On your very own free art request, be sure to read the rules, and then comment your request into the chat.
Retro Addy. Hopefully that worked. I can't tell because it's way at the bottom. Yes, it did work. Excellent. Welcome in. Retro Addy is a wonderful art streamer who I have a good time talking with and watching her do art. I highly recommend them, so y'all should maybe check her out sometime.
Video Game Andrew said, I'm here. Two new guys OM. Hello. These streams are pretty interesting NGL.
For sure. I've known Retro Addy for a bit. She's pretty cool, so everyone be nice.
True. Even if this is short. Summer sucks imo. Especially cause the very hot weather.
Yeah, it's seriously causing like heat problems. I had to walk like 2 miles in the summer heat the other day in the middle of a desert. It was not fun. I didn't even have my sunscreen because I was walking 2 miles to pick up my car from the mechanic. And guess where I keep my sunscreen? In my car, which was with the mechanic. Okay, Twitch is gonna keep yelling at me if I don't run an ad soon, so let's run one for about 1 minute and I'll see y'all very shortly.
Video Game Andrew just redeemed BOOP to Snoot. For 5 points.
Thank you for the Snoot Boop.
Cyberdragon34 said, yet I was just wondering how the heat is right now. Feraligator2425 said, well, good we doing stream now because around 7 PM I'll be going to see a play a family member is in.
That's good. You'll have to tell us how it goes. We'd love to hear it. What kind of play is it?
Tomorrow I mean. Stream Element said, hey, in addition to extra boops, I am also offering off-stream draw time to all my subscribers. In fact, as a subscriber, your weekly off-stream draw time will be guaranteed even if you miss a stream. Tier 1, 15 minutes total. Tier 2, 30 minutes total. Tier 3, 100 minutes total. Super Johnny 91 said, "Where's my name on the list?" Feraligator 2425 said, "She's props gonna get to it at some point soon." The Gold Recluse said, "It's amazing how much detail goes into a tree." Kamajot said, "Heya everyone, how's it going? Hopefully you're all surviving the heat wave that's been devastating the area."
That is a fact. That is a fact. Okay, I think we're back from the ad now. Let's see here. I'm gonna pause real quick. Remind me to unpause or we'll be here all day. Thank you for the snoop boop. We have Early Bird went to Feraligator. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. Super Slot went to Coco for Coco Picks. A request slot went to Stinky Man, who I added to the subscriber slot. A basic slot to Pepper Skunk, which I have down here. Dazzle for You as a first timer. Boop to Snoop from Andrew. Johnova has 100 bits. And Boop to Snoop from Jim Jam Jim. Hold up, Jim Jam Jim is here. Sorry, Jim, we are like way behind in chat right now. This always happens at the beginning of the stream, I swear.
Feraligator 2425 said, "That sounds good. I don't want to max out my volume on my end." Super Johnny 91 said, "My name is not in the list."
Yeah, Super Johnny 91, I'm not seeing where you redeemed a request slot today. Remember, we're still using that request slot system.
Stream Elements said, "Heya. You should heckin' check out RetroAddy, where they do art it." Stream Elements said, Hey, did you know you can get more off-stream draw time per dollar by subscribing on DeviantArt? Basic Whippers, $5 gets you 25 minutes of draw time per week. Double Doodles, $10 gets you 60 minutes of draw time per week. Super Snooters, $25 gets you 175 minutes of draw time per week. Feraligator 2425 said, "At that point that's why I store important stuff on my person / at home." Thanks for the 100 bits, John Nova 85.
Thank you so much for the bits, John Nova. I'm gonna go ahead and give you some time for that. We don't have any standardized amounts for time provided by bits yet, but that is definitely something we should start doing. I'm just gonna give you 10 minutes for today for the 100 bits you gave me. Thank you so much. And I'll do the math on what it should actually be later. And that'll just be for today. So for anyone else looking for that, that is not going to be what the rates are later.
John Nova 85 said, "Ads. 10 SEC ad whoa. Back. I have no idea what the play is about, but I'm guessing it's nothing too insane." Jim said, "Sup Snoots."
Sup, Jim Jam Jim. Have you drawn anything cool lately that you'd like to show us? Okay, that's not right. This needs to go up here and come down here. The elbow needs to be higher. This arm shouldn't be so thick. Wow, arms being crossed is a very difficult way. It's a very difficult thing to draw. But I think that's alright. There. Alright. We have these little star things sticking out. We are going to be working on this one for quite a while. Let me go back to my reference and let the chat catch up.
Jimbo. Jim just redeemed BOOP to Snoot. For 5 points. Jim just redeemed Hail Hydrate. For 5 points.
Oh, we gotta hydrate. Let me grab my water bottle. Give it a little shake. Oh, my fluff. It is already mostly empty at the beginning of this stream. I swear I just filled this thing up. Well, let me get a drink real quick.
If Jim will ever request art, but I understand chilling with the artist.
That is very refreshing. Thank you. For the hydrate, and my water bottle's empty, so I am going to have to take it out and fill it next time I get a hydrate, and or soon. Probably after... Don't
Stream
mind my
Element said,
phone alarm.
Hey, you should heckin' check out Jim, where they do art it. Super Johnny 91 said, I don't see my name on the list. John Nova 85 said, has 100 bits? Just wanted to gift you some?
Thank you so much, John Nova. I appreciate your support. And I hope you are doing well. Boop!
How would I get more points if it's low?
More
At Super Johnny 91 stream streaks are best.
Yeah, stream streaks are like a very quick way to get it, but there's 2 ways you can get it while watching. One is that it will just randomly give you some every, like, I want to say 5 minutes or something. But also there's a little green box at the bottom of the chat that pops up, I want to say every 15 minutes or so. And if you click that, it gives you 50 points every time.
Super Johnny 91 said, at John Nova 85 how would I do that? You don't have to give me time, just wanted to give you some.
Thank you so much, John.
At Super Johnny 91 if you show up in multiple streams you get 450 points per after 3 streams I believe. At John Nova 85 like what? At Super Johnny 91? Super Johnny 91 said, at John Nova 85 like you said. Feraligator 2425 said, unless you're chugging the water it shouldn't be on the verge of dry.
I am chugging the water. It is hot. We have like 1 million fans going and the AC. I am drinking a ton of water today. This isn't my water jug. This isn't the whole gallon of water. This is just a water bottle. I haven't been using the water jug because of the lid doesn't work, so I'm looking to buy a new water jug already, even though I just bought this one. Very frustrating. It's a factory defect or whatever.
John Nova 85 said, how to earn points. Earn Boops Watch for 5 minutes plus 10 claim special bonuses plus 50 participate in a raid plus 250 follow this channel plus 300 monthly first cheer earn again in 29 days plus 350 monthly first gift a sub plus 500 grow a watch streak up to plus 450 tier 1 sub 1.2x multiplier tier 2 sub 1.4x multiplier tier 3 sub 2x multiplier.
Yeah, honestly, I'm considering making my own points guide, since they're super important for my channel.
Stream Elements said, today's music was provided by Vivek Abhishek. For high quality, royalty-free music, check out. Super Johnny 91 just redeemed BOOP to Snoot. For 5 points.
Thank you for the Snoot boops.
Super Johnny 91 said, at John Nova 85 I'm going to do that. Video Game Andrew said, back home.
Glad to hear you made it back safely, Andrew. I hope work went okay.
Video Game Andrew said, yes, was busy.
Those busy days can be pretty tiring, I'll tell ya.
Super Johnny 91 said, I'm sorry, can I come back next Friday for the request lot because it's low my points?
Yeah, that's fine, don't worry about it. I mean, the way it's designed is that people are usually getting some request slots every other stream. But keep in mind, the longer you watch, Johnny, the more points you get. So if you just, like, X out now, then when you come back, you're gonna have about the same amount of points. But if you watch the whole stream, and be sure to click that green button every time it pops up, you'll get tons of points.
Okay. Coco4 Coco Pix said, farming 1% drop chance gear is fun/s.
Tell me about it. Depends on how fast you can drop them. Like, farming humanities in Dark Souls isn't so bad when you get to the dead baby area. Because, you know, there's like 1 million dead babies, and you can just cut your way through them. And it doesn't matter that's 1%, because you're killing like, you're destroying like 100 of them every minute, you know? So you get humanity like so fast.
I can one-shot everything in this game.
Fair enough.
I'm just collecting.
It's a bit stiff, but I think it works. Alright, let's not spend all day on this. Let's go back to the clothes layer. I need to look at the reference. Got it.
CyberDragon34 said, I noticed that you all got rid of Bubby again. Is he gonna be gone now?
Who said that? Yes, I believe so. The roommate is housing him, so I'm going to be visiting him frequently. Supposedly I might be getting paid to help train him. But yeah, y'all should have seen our cats when we got back. They were very excited to see us and like have hardly let go of us since we got back. Moral of the story is never go on vacation. Your cats will miss you. Just kidding, everyone. Obviously you should go on vacation, but yeah. These poor kitties were meowing their fluffy little brains out when we got back.
CyberDragon34 said, I had a bad 2 months. I'm not gonna bring it up. I'll just message you in the DM about it.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'll definitely check it out in the DMs. I absolutely never finished this arm over here. I can wing it. Mostly. Okay. Making plenty of progress on this dress. Let's keep myself using my entire arm, engaging my entire arm to create these lines. And don't let myself be lazy and use my wrist. Have to use the arm. So these are very long lines.
Video Game Andrew said, "Hey, I'm work on my story."
Oh, you have a story? That's so cool.
Coco for Coco Pix said, "Got my first 1% now, I just need to get a dupe." Thank you.
Alright, we got lots done on this one today. We got her whole dress. We managed to finish Cinderace. I forgot to do Cinderace's eyes. And we started on her hair and face. Lots of progress today. Next up on the list, we have a brand new request from Video Game Andrew. Let me grab some references real quick and then we can get started.
Snooter says. 2. Coco4 Pix said, got my dupe. On to the next 1% item I need.
Heck yeah! What game is this in?
Roblox.
That makes sense. Are you still playing that, let's see here, were you playing Undertale Roblox or was that someone else?
Coco4 Pix said, no, that was me.
That's what I thought.
Video Game Andrew said, what photo use of me and what photo use for my wife?
Let's check.
I'm not playing that one RN.
Okay.
I'm playing an RPG.
What kind of RPG are you playing? Let's go with... We could get a bewildered look, that'd be great.
Coco4 Pix said, Blue Heater 2.
I'd like to get one with her typical haircut, though. So this one I use a lot because she's looking at a 3/4 view instead of straight on at the camera. Because a lot of these are looking straight on at the camera. But this one has her typical hair on it, so yeah. Blue heater 2. I'm guessing that's in reference to heater shields. Now, I need to block this in first.
Video game Andrew said, how are your day going?
It's going alright. Got off to a late start, so that's not great. Been drawing all day and have several hours to go, so there's that. But we're doing a short stream today, so it shouldn't go too long, presuming I stay on task, which I haven't been doing. But here we go. We are gonna make it work one way or the other. Sorry. Bit of a sneeze there.
Video game Andrew said, I let you know I someone make Hiluva boss cards.
That's cool, that's cool.
Send you link.
Sounds good.
Cyberdragon34 said, I've had an addiction to Ark and Pixelmon again.
Ah. Yeah, Ark sounds pretty good. I've always wanted to play it, but never get around to it. I think I'm slowing down with how many video games I play, you know? Because I only have so much time. And like, ever since I discovered Dead by Daylight, I haven't been playing much other games. Although I definitely want to finish, Bloodborne. And now that we have Dark Souls 3, I really want to play that. Oopsie.
Video Game Andrew said, send you link. Cyberdragon34 said, have you gotten the new killer yet? And have you played the new map yet?
I have done both of those things, but I have not played the new killer yet. I'm trying to get him, prestiged to stage 3 so that I have all his perks and don't have to worry about anything missing. Hold on a sec. Yeah, no, I actually just a couple days ago finally not a couple days ago, it was before I left for the trip. Wow! So, just last week, wow, time goes fast. Just last week, I played Houndmaster for the first time. So, like, I've had her for ages, but I finally got around to playing her for the first time. That's how far behind I am, and I still haven't played the Ghoul yet. But everyone's so mad about the Ghoul, I didn't want to be just, you know, one more Ghoul player stomping on everyone, because, like, in the matches I went against the Ghoul as a survivor, I'm like, wow, this is really broken. Like, I don't see how I'm supposed to counter this. Like, you know, when I go up against a rush killer like Blight, or a range killer like Huntress or Gunslinger, a rush killer like Blight, or Twins, or Demogorgon, like, I'll see them winding up their attack, so I go behind a corner. But, like, the Ghoul goes around corners. So I'm just super confused what exactly I'm supposed to do about it, you know? So I have no idea what to do about that killer, and from what I'm hearing, they're super broken. And it's a whole thing. Although I did hear the Ghoul got nerfed, so maybe I'll look into it sometime. Yeah. We'll see, we'll see. Maybe play them some other time.
Cyberdragon34 said, the Ghoul is supposed to be one of those breaks the mold type characters. Now that we have for killers, I agree. I do not like it.
I don't know, I feel like the Ghoul is a glorified Wesker. Like Wesker, but just way better.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that original of an ability, it just has a couple extra steps to it. like the rage and stuff. I mean, I guess Wesker technically has that little Ouroboros virus thing that makes his ability unnecessarily complicated. But, like, the main thing is, hey, I rush forward real fast. Go fast, go grab. Daddy, go chokey.
Video game Andrew said, "We're Beelzebub in drawing."
Gonna be somewhere over here. Haven't drawn her yet. So basically I'm doing this, but backwards. Beelzebub is going to be on the left, and Luna's going to be standing next to you on the right.
Cool. Cyberdragon34 said, "I mean the same thing for the Legion. They're all chasing stab band. Wait, no, that's a pig. Never mind."
Yeah, I mean, I swear the pig traps, like, are so ridiculously underwhelming. They don't do shoot. Like, they have to keep nerfing them, so it's impossible to get kills out of them. So all they are is a slowdown now. And now there's, like, it is nice that there's a guaranteed amount of slowdown and there's not so much RNG. But at the same time, it's like the traps are just so bad, and it's silly because, like, they powered up all her chase abilities and her, like, counter looping. And I'm like, that's just so silly. Like, this is supposed to be our one and only Saw character, and the traps aren't even lethal. Like, they're just trying to... I feel like with a lot of these killers, they have multiple abilities, and they're trying to split their lethality between different abilities, when it's like, if you could give a killer with just one good ability, like we had back in the day with, like, Nurse or Huntress or something, that would be perfectly fine. But no, there has to be, like, all these bells and whistles to it. But I mean, to be fair, they've been doing this for years, and, like, you really can't give a character just one ability anymore, because otherwise it's just going to be too similar to an existing character, and we already have most of the abilities, you know? This needs to be down here. And this ain't right. Also, what am I doing? This is the undersketch. Step. Detailing. Pay attention to your shapes. Establish the composition and the proportion. Stop detailing.
Feraligator2425 said, "If I'm correct, it's props gonna be an excuse of ERM. This isn't OP because this is a copycat killer, so they aren't as busted as the initial baddie."
I suppose. Wesker was really popular when he came out too. Like, from what I understand, he's A tier, but he's not God tier. And to be fair, every time I go up against a Wesker, I'm just like, oh, so it's gonna be an easy match. Because everyone who plays Wesker ain't very good with... Well, not everyone, obviously, but most people who play Wesker ain't very good with Wesker. He's a fun killer, but you actually have to put in the work to get good with him. You can't just, you know, pick him up and expect his power to do all the work for you. Even though it feels like that with the first couple matches, he's actually a very intricate character that requires a lot of skill. And then once he started getting techs, they started taking his techs, and I'm like, what the heck? Y'all, the whole point is that he's a complicated character with interesting techs and stuff. But yeah.
Cyberdragon34 said, I mean, we have Gunsinger who was unique for his ability. And then now we have the goal with almost the same type of ability but short-ranged, I think.
Yeah, I feel like the ghoul's more like Wesker.
Said, hi, hi, my dearest.
Hi, hi, my love, my darling, my Moshkin. I hope you like getting shouted out, because you're about to get shouted out.
The Gold Recluse said, those sound like words I need to repeat to myself when I'm sketching shapes. Hi, Misa.
Yeah, for real, for real. Like, for example, let me just make a new layer and put a pause on the timer. Say I have this character pointing out, right? And, like, I start drawing this arm and all these details on this arm and, oh man, it's got a vein right here. And, oh man, it's got a hand right here. And I'm putting all these details on this finger and this hand. And all these things, and oh man, I've spent like an hour of work on this, and there's all these details on this hand, and like, oh man, I have those little joint tendon things right here, and another vein coming out right here, and all these intricate details, and then I go back and be like, oh my god, this arm is like the size of his body, you know? And then I have to erase the whole thing and start over. So I need to block in the shapes first. And then start working on the details.
Here, Recluse. How are you doing?
Stream Elements said, hey, did you know that you can get way more draw time by subscribing on KO-Fi? Basic Whippers, $5 gets you 30 minutes of draw time per week. Double Doodles, $10 gets you 70 minutes of draw time per week. Super Snooters, $25 gets you 200 minutes of draw time per week.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've been keeping up with the community, Zyber, but people have been arguing that behavior is just kind of, intentionally making the game survivor-sided and hates killers or something. Because basically, they're arguing that, you know, behavior, like whether the game is killer-sided or not, I can't help but agree with the fact that survivors will take every single killer strategy and be like, oh, this is a problem. And it's like, no, it's not a problem. We're playing the game efficiently. It's called a strategy. And then, like, be like, oh, it's not fun to play against. And it's like, homie, you're still getting your chases in. Are you kidding me? But yeah, they're talking about tunneling, and like, at first I feel like I mean, it's silly, I'm a killer main, I shouldn't be disagreeing with, you know, other killer mains, but I was listening to this killer main talk about it, and I wasn't agreeing with everything he was saying. Like, yeah, things like, killers like Ghostface need to be buffed for sure. And it's a bit ridiculous that we're balancing the entire game around, like, nurses' kill rates. You know, like, the ability of the survivors to do gens at this crazy speed that they're at right now is just ridiculous when you have to play killers like Pig, you know? Pig and Ghostface, and try to keep up with this, but then, like, you know, you'll play Nurse and it's perfectly normal, but then Pig and Ghostface, you're just like, how am I supposed to do this? Honestly, Huntress is one I feel like is a big problem with, like, with that. Like, you can see these cute little trick shots that a bunch of Huntress experts do online, but it's like, how many games did you have to go through before you got that trick shot? And the only reason any of those trick shots landed is because the survivors kept going forward like chickens with their heads cut off and just didn't think that you'd be able to make that shot and didn't try to dodge. Like, that's the thing. 90% of the time as Huntress, they know you're going to throw the hatchet. There's a huge audio cue when you throw the hatchet. So they have a million years to dodge, and cross-map hatchets are useless. Everyone's like, oh, get good at aiming. It's like, I don't care how good at aiming you are. I could have a perfect aimbot, and survivors still have all the time in the world to dodge it. It is not in my control whether the survivor gets hit by the hatchet or not. And that is just so frustrating with that killer. You know, no matter how good you get at placing hatchets, you're never going to get to actually use that in a real match. And they're like, oh, look at these orbital hatchets. And I'm like, okay, if that were a comp game, they'd hear the, they would hear the audio cue, look up to check for an orbital hatchet, and then move out of the way. Like, they're really not that actually, they're cool, they look cool, they're not actually that useful in game.
Hey, you should heckin' check out Missamachan, where they do start to evaluate. CyberDragon34 said, oh hi Misa.
Misamochin said, hi Zyba.
The Gold Recluse said, doing well. John Nova 85 said, it's called getting good.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, apparently. Like, there's a couple situations where you can guarantee a shot with the hatchet, and, like, the survivors know them all, so they avoid them. And Huntress is just so slow that, like, survivors can walk up to a pile of rocks and get a minute of looping out of her without any windows or, like, any pallets. And it's ridiculous. And it's like, okay, I want to play this killer because I want to do cool trick shots. I want to do careful trick shots and hit them as they're jumping through a window from, like, you know, 80 feet away, or, like, surprise them from across the map with the cool snipe. And I've been practicing my accuracy and stuff, and then you actually get into a game and you just spend 90% of the time, like, survivors will just immediately run towards the nearest object and or the nearest loop and just go in circles, and you basically don't get a chance to even throw a hatchet. You know, in those loops, your best choice is to rush the pallet so that they have to either hit you and drop it, or they think you're gonna pull a hatchet, and then they greet it, you know? Like, there's the 50-50. Either you pull a hatchet and hit them over the pallet, or you greet it. And with Huntress, I notice, like, 90% of the time it's better to greet it. So you're not using your power. Like, that's the whole point of playing Huntress, is these cool trick shots. And you never get to do them, because no one's ever going to get to run into the position where you can wind up a shot, you know?
Feral Ligator 2425 said, at that point just say yo mama isn't fun to play against as a comeback loudly crying face.
Yeah, I suppose.
CyberDragon34 said, and then I'm over here thinking because I was playing the game about maybe 3. We got to go with friends and we had some good killers. But they were like not tunneling us. They being very fair.
I suppose. I mean, if them not tunneling was fair, like, how were you going easy on them? But,
John Nova 85 said, I don't play so I'm just here.
For sure. I mean, in some ways I would suggest, yeah, you should totally check out Dead by Daylight. In other ways, I'm like, you should absolutely not play Dead by Daylight. It is a very love-hate relationship with that game. Everyone who plays it has a very love-hate relationship with it.
Video Game Andrew said, let you know Ghostface on Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah, it's so cool. I love the lines he says in the clashes.
Video Game Andrew said, timer.
Thank you, Andrew. I've resumed it.
Yuri24 just redeemed request slot for 3,000 points. Yuri24 currently has 10 minutes. YW. Yuri24 said, just requested a request slot.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ailuri Duke. Nope. Stop detailing. Stop detailing. Get this arm right. Get this arm right first. Move on to a different layer before you detail.
Video Game Andrew said, I send you link to Hilwa Boss CRDS.
That sounds good, Andrew.
Cards.
Okay. I'm gonna need a separate layer for arm details. This character must have taken like 10 million years to animate.
The Gold Recluse said, when you do shapes of bodies first, do you do the individual shapes of all the parts or just a shape of the overall body? That question made more sense in my head.
So the answer is both, sort of. So what I don't always do because I'm a bad artist is what you want to do, especially for difficult poses, because these are actually very simple poses that don't need that much detail to them. So let me see here. Let me just hide this layer real quick. Open this up. So there's this thing called gesture. So say these characters were actually doing some like dynamic poses. Like let's say Vortex is leaning back, putting his hands up, being like, no, please don't. You want to do what's called gesture, which is where you take a single line and do the entire character with that line. And then when you start doing like the body and stuff, you do it along this line so that there is like, there's like a sense of movement here. You know what I mean? Sense of movement going on because you did that gesture line first. That tells you where everything goes. And then for her, let's say she's insert hide. Let's say she's leaning over and yelling. We're gonna gesture like this. And then after we've done the gesture, which is the whole body, the movement and the feeling of the whole body, like I absolutely recommend looking up gesture. Like it's very important. Once you have the movement of the whole body, you can start doing like the shapes. She's like, you know, over here, and then like yelling. And there's like an arm that's got to be coming up here. Very important. This is not quite along the gesture line.
Feral Ligator 2425 said, "Whoa, I didn't notice the people watching stream." Ilyuriduk24 said, "Did I get a request slot?"
I believe you did. Oh, I don't think I pressed save. Sorry, I'm still getting used to the new system. You know how it's cycling up like that? That uses like this thing called like a GDI text or something. And basically it takes the text that I have in my notepad and converts it into its own little fonts and whatnot, and then makes it scroll. The downside is I have to save every time I make any changes to it, or it doesn't update, and I keep forgetting to save. So you should be on the list now. Sorry about that, but yeah, I think you get the idea. So I do like basic shapes for the body, or at least I try to make myself do that. I just do a little egg shape for the chest. Hard to describe. I go a little nuts on the hips. Circles for the shoulders. Start with a circle for the head, but then you do like the line that goes down, and then like the chin and stuff. And this looks like you're just drawing the shield that a lot of beginners do, and it looks like that from up front. Beginners will just basically draw a shield, but there's like a lot more to this. Like if this turns to the side, for example, that's why you have to do it this way, is you have to understand, no, the chin comes up here, the ear is right about here. The eyebrows are right about here. The eyes go underneath. Yeah. I mean, that's Loomis method faces. Sorry, my brush smoother is really strong, so I can't draw that small without it getting in the way. Nose goes here. Wait, it goes here. The bottom of the ear is at the top of the nose, and the top of the ear is at the top of the eye. But yeah, those are very important distinctions to make. It is not just a shield with a round head. Like, say, for example, I draw a heater shield. Yeah, like the kind of heaters that I imagine Coco's using. It's not just that. You have to keep in mind, it is sphere, line, chin anatomy, ear anatomy, you know? You can't just draw it as a chevron. And then, like, for the arms, what I do is I just start with lines. Because that's the thing, on my undersketch, I only need to get the proportions right, you know? Like, say, for example, I start measuring this. Let me grab my ruler tool real quick. Where is it? I almost never use my ruler tool. Sample color, draw gradient, blah, 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 blah. Who the heck is ruler?
Ilyuriduk24 said, "Snooter."
Yeah, what's up? Oh, found it. So say I take my ruler tool and go from here to here. So that's about 1,862 pixels. And halfway is about...
The Gold Recluse said, "OMG, that's something I haven't been doing." I forgot about gesture line.
Sure, about halfway through. So halfway through is here. And halfway through that is here.
Feraligator2425 said, she's trying to explain stuff. I'm sure she saw it.
Yeah, I think that's about right, actually. And then the knees would be about here. Yeah, so on this stage, just trying to get your proportions right is the only thing that's important, you know? Just your line, then do your proportions right, etc., etc. I don't think we need these layers anymore. I'm gonna turn my sketch layer back on.
At Feraligator2425 okay.
Yeah, if you're actually an expert, you can go directly from drawing those like rudimentary basic shapes straight to lining and skip the detailed sketch that I do. But I'm not that good, so I can't do that. Like once you're done with your gesture and your basic shapes, if you really know what you're doing, you should be able to jump straight to lining from there, but no way in heck I can do that. Not at all.
Video Game Andrew said, thank you, I see next Friday.
See you next Friday, Andrew. Take care of yourself and get some rest. You had a busy day at work today, so definitely try to get some rest and recover. And don't forget to eat healthy and take care of yourself. Night-night. We're gonna start on Jack the Legend now.
The Gold Recluse said, so cool. The Gold Recluse said, thank you.
You're
I
too
want to try
kind.
that soon as I can. At
You're
work right now, lel.
You're too kind, you're too kind, and yeah, ain't that always the struggle? Always trying to put food on the table and doesn't allow us to be artistic and work on expressing ourselves and our art and whatnot. If only they were paying us what we were worth, then maybe we'd have time. Or maybe if they weren't charging us for so much for cost of living, but that's another story. That's another story we probably shouldn't talk about on my stream, because Twitch gets mad at us when we talk about POLITICS. So we don't. But still, I hope work is going okay and things aren't too hectic. Can at least wish for that. I'm gonna put some highlight over there. Probably gonna put some shading down here. Dang it. There we go. Block. See. Shadow. Grab this dark green, but I'm using the light green. think we might actually be done with shading, and I think it's time to start highlighting, which, as you all know, is my favorite part. Just a couple spots I need to fix real quick. I don't see any others. I'm gonna start highlighting now. Let's go. Heck yeah, highlighting, my favorite part. Right. We have to run an ad real quick. I'll see everyone in about a minute.
CyberDragon34 said, I have returned and I have killed 30 wyvern in Ark.
Oh dang, wait, they have wyverns in Ark? I thought it was supposed to be real creatures from natural history.
Well, I'm in the world of Ragnarok.
Oh dang, oh dang.
Feraligator2425 said, well, Ark is built different. And also Ark is a simulation, so it doesn't go by the real world.
I did not know that it was a simulation.
CyberDragon34 said, because you have rock golems, titanous sandworms, not related to Dune. And you have some mythical creatures like griffins.
Dang, I had no idea. I just knew about the dinosaurs and stuff.
CyberDragon34 said, and also there's aliens like xenomorph-like aliens.
Dang, I had no idea. Do they have face huggers and stuff? actually having trouble with this.
Cyberdragon34 said, there is a creature called the Reaper. And they can implant like the xenomorph face hugger.
Well, that's cool, that's cool.
I'm gonna go look up a photo of it for you. It is very cool.
That sounds awesome. Alright, lots of progress on this. I dare say we're more than halfway done with the highlighting right now. Which is excellent. Alright, I'm gonna try to run an ad and then we're gonna get started on the Gold Recluse. Excellent. We definitely need to do a lot of work on that one. I think I'm going to be doing most of the work on that one tomorrow, but we're at least going to be doing 20 minutes today.
The Snooter said, getting water, BRB. Cyberdragon34 said, I put it in general cause. I didn't know where else to put it. Kamijot said, how's mine coming?
Alright, we're back. Yeah, General is definitely a catch-all for now. I'll worry about making more groups for, other subcategories and stuff once General starts getting too full. But General is not too full right now, so I don't think I need to worry about that at this time. Kimajots, here you are. Here is the progress. As you know, to get more progress on this, you will need to get a request slot. Just a second. Did I miss you last time? 2 hours, 37 minutes. Okay, that doesn't help. 14 days ago. God dang.
Kamajot said, ah. Cyberdragon34 said, and the other thing is, the thing has the largest amount of health next to a non-boss, and that's a normal creature.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be the perfect organism, you know? I mean, they're basing it off of the, quote, perfect organism. 21 days ago, 14... Nothing from Kamajots last time. Yep, nothing. Alright, let's see here. Who's next on the list? Alright, Gold Recluse. That's who we're working on. Alright, we're gonna spend 20 minutes on this one, and there'll be 50 minutes during the off-stream tomorrow. I went through all this trouble to get my undersketch ready to go, just to realize the proportions are still off. This one actually used a gesture line underneath when I first started. It's mostly gone now. The gesture line was somewhere over here and went somewhere up here. So I wanted some kind of motion to this.
Mischief Horn just redeemed Hail Hydrate. For 5 points.
Perfect timing, right as I got back with my water. I'm gonna grab the water bottle and give it a little shake. Then let's open it up. Welcome in, Mischief Horn. I hope you've been doing well.
Stream Elements said, hey, did you know you can get more off-stream draw time per dollar by subscribing on DeviantArt? Basic Whippers, $5 gets you 25 minutes of draw time per week. Double Doodles, $10 gets you 60 minutes of draw time per week. Super Snooters, $25 gets you 175 minutes of draw time per week. Hey you should heckin' check out Mischief Horn, where they do Monster Hunter Wilds it. Mischief Horn said, I finish Herva and another art stuff, just need make background for both.
Oh, that's awesome, awesome. Would you like to show us? That was the wrong layer.
Feraligator2425 said, wait, did you stream on YouTube too, or is small streams only on Twitch?
I should be on YouTube. I just checked it at the beginning of the stream to make sure it was working, and I checked it repeatedly later.
Hap John said, hello. Snooter says, 3.
I'm gonna try refreshing.
Coco4 Pix said, darkness.
Seems to be working. Yeah, like, I can't help but feel like this isn't really showing up on people's Twitch screens.
Feraligator2425 said, I was just asking just in case.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I've absolutely forgotten, like for like a couple of the streams, I've absolutely forgotten and had to like start it halfway through or just forego it entirely. But this time I remembered to check it in that little 5-minute starter thing I give myself at the beginning of my streams, which is a good use of that.
Coco, why are you dark and brooding? Mischief Horn said, they're on open art if want see it.
I will definitely take a look in a bit here. I like these. This one has so much expression to it. Hold on a minute. Y'all have to see this real quick.
Feraligator2425 said, ha. OMG, that's funny.
There's so much expression here. I love it. Can see the soul leaving their body. And of course there's Hirve over here, who still looks great, and I love it. Yes, these drawings are by Mischief Horn, which I have to remind everyone, because it looks like they don't sign their works like they're supposed to. You should be signing your work so everyone knows that they're yours. It's very important. Want all the horns and all the mischief to be getting the credit. We're gonna run an ad real quick, and then I'm gonna keep working on this Momo drawing. See everyone in a minute.
Mischief Horn said, it was just me semi-tracing over the chopper image, I didn't do it completely mine. They're not done though, signing can be done later. Feraligator2425 said, Imo, I don't sign unless I'm funny happy with a piece.
No, you should have your signature ready to go on your template from the very beginning.
I got another super short ad.
That's interesting.
I meant fully happy AAH.
Just a second, I have to measure something.
Mischief Horn said, being trying to make Korra start uploading art on stuff liek blsky.
If any of y'all need help with that, I use a really handy social media manager. It does a lot of the work for you. And I highly recommend it.